aerial shot of the rock as we come to you live from the Results Operations Center here in Vuwani. It's an absolute pleasure being with you on the run-up to tomorrow's huge election. And you can see it's very, very quiet at the moment. Believe me, these seats are going to be a hive of activity when you tune in tomorrow morning and you see this exact same setting. It will be a very different picture, I can promise you that much. The question we're asking you this morning on Twitter, and we really would like to know from you. Obviously, you've given who you're going to vote for a lot of thought, and at this point in time, it's a matter of now just sleeping on it, waking tomorrow morning and going and voting for that political party. But I imagine it's not only just a political party you're voting for, it's a lot of issues that you would like to see addressed. What are the issues you're voting for tomorrow? Have you made that decision? And what are you voting for? We would really love to hear from you. Hashtag SABC elections. That's the official hashtag for this year's elections here at the SABC. And of course, you can use the @MorningLive Twitter handle if you would like to as well. All right, let us now talk about the security measures that are going to be put in place ahead of tomorrow's elections, and of course the results as well, because those are vital, and that's once people, of course, emotions are running high when these results do come out. So the South African Police Service has assured citizens that they will be able to cast their votes free of any intimidation whatsoever. There was a briefing yesterday, and Acting National Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Kgomotso Phahlane said officers would be deployed at all voting stations across the country, but has identified around 650 of these voting stations that they say are hotspots. Let's talk a little bit more to the General, who's here in studio with us. Thank you so much for being with us and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Leanne.
So we talk about the fact that there are about 650 hotspots that you're looking at. But before we get into where they are, what do you look for? How do you define a hotspot?
Well, this is more intelligence-driven, informed by assessments that we will have made, which will suggest that there are issues in those communities, maybe issues related to challenges around the demarcations, issues related to disagreements when it comes to the nomination process, where there has been some volatile situations that had to be managed. So we will then have categorized the areas. We have 22,612 voting stations across the country. They fall within areas of which 650 of those voting stations are considered to be high risk, and 1,328 of them medium risk. Okay. That is more an operational assessment to inform our deployment.
All right, so let's talk about one of the hotspots. And of course, the one that jumps to mind firstly is the area of Vuwani, where you were yesterday. You actually, in fact, gave that press briefing in Vuwani yesterday. As far as I understand, there's 1,000 police officers that are going to be deployed into Vuwani itself, as well as some of the SANDF. And already yesterday, you could see there was a massive presence. Are you very concerned about Vuwani? And rightly so, after the run-up to these elections?
At this stage, I must say I'm not concerned, because I have seen what is on the ground. We have deployed 1,100 people in that area, and the police are present. All I will want to say to our communities is that go out in numbers, go and cast your vote. The South African Police Service will do that, which is supposed to be doing in securing everyone and ensuring that we deliver a safe and secure elections.
I know that there's been talk from some of the leaders there as well that they've been intimidating voters. I know there were arrests as well over the weekend, and obviously you're getting a lot of inside information as well as to those that are intimidating and saying if you do go out and vote, there will be problems.
We have pronounced ourselves to say we are not going to accommodate irresponsible utterances, irresponsible speeches that get closer to inciting violence, and we had committed ourselves to deal with such individuals, and accordingly in the Vuwani area we have already arrested 3 of the leaders. We are still pursuing the others that have been instrumental in intimidating the community of Vuwani, suggesting that they should not go and vote. And we can't allow that. It's a democratic right that each South African has, and we must allow the people of our country to go and cast their vote.
All right, so let's take a little bit of a bigger picture, because we always seem to be focusing in on Vuwani when we talk about hotspots and trouble areas. But what I find quite fascinating is that of the 650 hotspots you've identified, the most fall into our province of Gauteng. Talk to us about the different provinces you're looking at and where the majority of the hotspots are, which you were saying Gauteng.
Yeah, when we spoke about hotspots, I actually, for the first time, will want to give you some figures. Limpopo, for example, had about 56 hotspots, and Gauteng 36. KwaZulu-Natal will have had 40 of the hotspots. Eastern Cape 23. Free State only 3 hotspots. Northern Cape 7, Northwest 30, and Western Cape 25, and Mpumalanga 12.
Okay.
These are hotspots informed by the challenges on the ground from a security assessment. Now, you will know that we unfortunately had more attacks, more killings in KwaZulu-Natal. It is not a community uprising. It is more individual attacks that we have experienced in that area. And we are happy with the progress that we have made in following up on those cases.
Yeah.
At this stage, 9 people are behind bars. We have recovered firearms or weapons that we would have used in the commission of these crimes.
All right. General, one of the issues that I'd like to touch on as well is that there were overnight developments, and you did make a few arrests in certain areas. Talk to us about what happened last night.
Yeah, generally I think everything has been going on very well. We unfortunately had an incident in El Dorado Park, Freedom Park, where two tents were torched. That flows from a service delivery protest. People are very much concerned about the lack of electricity that they've been experiencing since the weekend, and unfortunately when they convened yesterday during the night somewhere, an individual or two decided to torch the temporary tents, but that situation is being closely monitored.
Yeah.
We also had Vereeniging, where there were some blockages. Also, it is not necessarily election related. It is what is normally called service delivery, because they have been experiencing water and electricity challenges since Thursday.
Yeah.
But the police are on the ground managing the situation accordingly.
Just finally, we're running into news headlines, so just a couple of seconds. The help that you're getting from the SANDF, what is that? I mean, I heard that they will be available, particularly in Vuwani, patrolling some of the areas. Anywhere else?
No, the Army is not going to do any patrols. We are not going to have boots on the ground. They will provide logistical support.
Okay.
Like in this case, the Oryx helicopter is available to ferry the police from one point to the other, in ensuring that we have got an aerial coverage of the areas. And we are grateful for the support of the SANDF and our counterparts within the cluster.
All right, so they will not be on the ground. They are just offering logistical support. That's the final word that we've been hearing from our Lieutenant General, who has joined us here on the program to talk about the run-up to tomorrow's election and all security issues, as you can see, seem to be in very good hands. Acting National Commissioner, Lieutenant General Kgomotso Phahlane, thanks for talking to us.